everyone. I don't know what day it is. I never know what day it is. I think it's Tuesday. I'm hoping it's Tuesday. How are y'all doing? It's been, if you're on social media, which you are because you're here, it's been a little exhausting, I think. I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but when I do and I'm scrolling, no matter what platform it's on, there has become this war of the two sides of reopen everything and like, why are we reopening everything? And it is exhausting. And especially if you find yourself in like firmly grounded in one of those camps, seeing this constant stream of opposition is exhausting. So I want to give you some tips as you are, no matter where you find yourself, no matter what you think should be happening or why you think it should be happening or whatever. If you find yourself getting really worked up about it, I want to give you, or even a little bit worked up, I want to give you some tips. And there's some crazy stuff going on in the background. I don't know what it is and I'm afraid of it. So whatever noises you hear, please just ignore it. And hopefully there's not a bathroom full of blood again. Oh, and on my last live, it cut out and it made it sound like I cut out the story. I didn't. It just, a bottle broke. My kids were making a tornado in the bathtub with this like thick, heavy glass bottle, which I didn't really think, I should have been a better parent and thought about that, but they dropped it and it broke in the bathtub and there was glass. And one of my daughters got lots of cuts and they were teeny tiny cuts, but they bled like crazy. And so, okay, just if you were wondering what that story was. Anywho, okay. So the first thing, if you find yourself having a lot of emotion and you find yourself getting worked up about all that's happening with our culture and our societies and the opening or not reopening and the fear that comes with that. First tip is to just go ahead and feel your feelings. You know, if you're feeling frustrated, notice that you're feeling frustrated. You know, here's what we tend to fall into one of four categories when we're having a lot of emotion. One, we're just fully immersed and we're just going with it. Two, we're fighting against it and like just being like, I don't want to feel this. And just battling that feeling. Or we're feeling a lot of shame for having the feeling, or we're accepting the feeling, right? So I want you just to note, and this works in any context. This works no matter what the experience you're having is, whether it's related to our current world situation, pandemic, or something else. Notice what you're feeling. I'm feeling frustrated. Stop judging it. Don't make it wrong, right? Making yourself wrong doesn't help you at all. It doesn't mean you have to love it. It doesn't mean you have to love. And this relates to what we talked about last week, but you don't have to love the thoughts that you're having or the feelings you're having, but you can acknowledge them and you cannot judge them. I'm feeling frustrated right now. I don't like that I feel frustrated. Noticing what another tip is to notice what you can control. So checking in, I'm feeling really frustrated. What am I frustrated about? I'm frustrated that people are living according to something that I disagree with. Can I control it? No, you can't. Just so you know, no, you can't. You cannot control how other people are reacting to this pandemic. We're all coming from our own experience, from our own fears, right? And I'd say fears is really the foundation of most of what's going on right now. Fear of the economy, fear of what will happen if I don't get out of the house and I have to stay here longer, fear of what if I get sick, fear of what if I get somebody else I love get sick, those sorts of things. So we're not judging our emotions. We're acknowledging what we can control and what we can't. And I think accepting is another piece of that. Just accepting like, this is something that I can't control. What do I want to do about it, right? Is it worth this energy that I'm putting into this? Is it worth this emotional investment when I can't change the outcome, right? And if you can't, so I'm mad that Joe is wanting to, and I'm not going to share my views on this. This is just hypothetical, but I'm mad that Joe wants to reopen McDonald's dining room, right? So I'm feeling all this energy, and I can criticize Joe, and I can send him messages, and I can yell at him. I'm probably not going to change his mind. I'm probably just going to make him more defensive and more rooted in his beliefs. So that is wasted energy. It's just wasted, you know? And you get to decide. I guess I can't decide that for you. For me personally, it's wasted energy. So instead, I'm going to think a different thought about Joe. And I'm going to think, Joe, I don't remember which side of the argument I took. So I'm assuming that Joe wants to open McDonald's and I don't. So I can say, you know, I can make up whatever thought I want about Joe. I can try to be empathetic. I can try to put myself in his shoes. I can just say, you know, Joe and I are going to disagree and I don't want to spend any more time on it. But it's this idea of having an emotion, recognizing what thoughts are creating it, and then choosing different thoughts if I need to, right? Having a compassionate thought toward Joe feels a heck of a lot different than having a critical thought toward him, right? And so it takes practice. But it's you are the one that feels the emotion, not Joe, right? I can be as angry and as bitter and as frustrated at somebody as I want. And guess what? Guess who feels that? I do, not them. So when we punish people with our negative energy by being mad or criticizing or whatever, we're not punishing them, we're punishing ourselves, and it's so exhausting. It's exhausting already. This whole having to shift how we live our lives is exhausting. Adding the negative energy on top of it, like, man, we just ain't got, I don't have time for that. Maybe you do. I doubt it, but I don't. So anyway, those are just the quick thoughts that I want to leave you with today. Don't judge how you're feeling. Be curious about what thoughts are creating the feeling. And then if you need to, choose more compassionate thoughts. So, all right, happy Tuesday. Hope the rest of the week is smooth and you're finding ways to find peace and trying to find ways. I hope that you're having success at finding ways to make this circumstance and this situation work for you in some way. So, okay, until Friday at 1:30. See you soon.